we needed to solve a dilemma. The three major area healthcare facilities and organizations in the greater Albuquerque metro area were struggling to find a way to tell their patients and families not to use the emergency rooms for non-emergency situations without making it seem like they were turning them away and they weren't welcome. No one organization wanted to be the bad guy, to be perceived as that kind of organization that turns people away. So there was an air of uncertainty, and there was also not a normal, regular community messaging channel that was being done. And the air of competition in the community was leading to inertia to get that messaging begun. So our question was, what to do? How do we bring competitors together to become collaborators? To not only reach patients, but reach new community partners in our collective journey to population health. So, looking to steal shamelessly an AF4Q credo, we looked to other communities in New Mexico that had some successful campaigns and borrowed one from one of our northwest counties that had some tested messaging. So we were able to look at that campaign, which consisted of print and also posters, but mainly a focus on radio spots. Now, radio in New Mexico, we know, produces great results. It's just a great vehicle for us. So we began a robust campaign messaging to get out a message to all of our communities via radio spots, that all of the organizations were together in this and wanted all of their patients and families to get care at the right place at the right time. So you may not look at me now, but I do drive a truck. Actually, I drive a really big truck. It's an F-150, and in New Mexico, you need to drive those trucks. There's lots of distances to travel. So as we're driving the truck, I get in the truck, and the first thing you do is you turn on your radio, and I love country music. There is absolutely nothing better than driving through the New Mexico desert than listening to Alan Jackson and Jimmy Buffett singing 5 o'clock somewhere. So going through that and going through New Mexico, we travel a lot of distances, and in about 2 hours, you're almost somewhere. And as you're going somewhere, you're listening to the radio, and so is everybody else around you. So just like me, those people are listening to the radio. So one of the things that we really needed to do was figure out how to get this campaign across. So we started developing a really robust radio advertising messages that really would resonate with whoever heard it. And we really wanted that message to not only to hear it, but to visualize what you were hearing. And we were able to do that and get a lot of information across to our community in that way. And I'm here to tell you, we had really terrific results. We, all three area healthcare organizations, looked at their data, and there was a decrease in emergency care visits, and that was leading to almost 1,536 was the number as compared to the previous time frame in the previous year. So that information was received very well by our community and by our competitors who had now become collaborators. The other things that we really did and we really wanted to work on were to continue that radio spot. So while we had that great success, the other successes that we had to do with the recognition that our coalition received in the state of New Mexico by receiving a first place award in our public media campaign, and also the comments that were unsolicited from the community, from community members, such as the very popular radio talk show host who relayed to his audience that he had to take a family member for health care, and that he thought about where he would be taking that member, either urgent care or emergency, based upon our campaign messaging. This was a very popular talk show host. This message was heard again. Our message was so popular among the radio people that we received an extra 300 plus PSAs free. They wanted to keep our campaign going because they said they had never heard or seen a spot that generated so much response. There was also a comment from an emergency nurse who said, "Wow, this is a message that is clear and that patients can understand. How great is that?" Or from the woman who pulled off on the side of the road, who called up and said, "I don't know who you guys are, but I just heard your radio message and I want to know more about you, what's going on there." So you can see that our messages were not only reaching people, they were reaching new partners. And they were also reaching partners that we can now say were helping us in our collective journeys to population health. So I think the bottom line is messaging needs to be the right vehicle. That right vehicle can get us in our communities to get the appropriate and correct care at the right time in the right place.